Let me see on your YouTube.
It should be fine.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you're fine.
I don't know. Something's happening with Streamlabs where it's having a very rough time of it, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's just too much stuff going on or what's happening, but yeah.
Hello, everyone.
There we go.
Welcome to the
boys are
stream
here.
for Dancing of Dragon. Dance of Dragon.
Got punch in the
My name
nose.
is Marcus Boom. I'm joined here by lovely Tom, aka Oxy. And
Looks like
we are
Oxy's
going to
been
be
punched in the
presenting
nose.
today
Like,
the
they got it. What's going on?
He was in
Of course,
a
we don't have
he was
everything
in a bar
ready
fight.
yet
Oh dear.
of what is to come and what you can play in the next update. Now, one very important thing to mention first is everything you are going to see today is still work in progress, so don't take everything too seriously. There are still going to be changes of battle ratings, equipment, stats in general. What we are showing you is an early preview. There are still dev servers to come, there's still more development to be done before the update goes live. So, everything work in progress. Don't get too riled about
Whip
what you see
time.
today. So, let's begin with the US. We have a new tank.
Yeah, I love stuff like this. I like sort of weird World War II era stuff. This is the T1E1 90mm model.
God.
Visually,
rocker
it's,
tank.
almost
Let's
identical
go.
to the regular T1E1, but with a 90mm gun. So basically the same thing as you're used to on the M36 or the Pershing.
Quite nice
apart
to
from that,
see.
Everything else
Good old
currently is the same. I
T1E1.
believe
Good stuff.
there's some like conflicting sources about the frontal armor, so maybe that'll change. I don't know, but currently it's exactly the same as the regular version. So
What?
nothing really too much to look at there.
What?
Armor-wise, it's
There's
okay.
conflicting
The hull armor's
sources
not
about
that
the
great,
front
obviously,
armor.
because the hull armor normalizes,
Should it be
so the
exactly the
armor
same?
plus,
I thought it was
No,
just
no,
a
they
bigger
meant in
gun.
general.
the armor's pretty okay.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
angle
pretty much.
slightly, and I find that people often shoot this bit and bounce, so that's quite effective.
No.
It gets, I believe, the same rounds as the M36. So it's
Oh, against the M82, we're good.
APC
We're good.
round,
Everything's
the
fine.
CAP round, and then the standard
Okay,
M82
yeah.
with the
At
extra charge, so
5.72,
it's
we're good.
the higher pen, so pretty nice. And also something I think a lot of people
5.7.
don't
I don't think that one is
skip
going
over
to stay
on T1E1 is the
5.7,
hull
man.
is
Nah, it'll
actually
go up.
slightly angled
They
by
always
1
do.
degree, so you have an
Yeah.
extra degree of gun depression, which is quite sweet. I like that. Anyway, yeah,
People
not too
seem
much
to be
say
pretty
about it. It's
effective
sort
with
of,
these guns.
you know what the elements that make up this vehicle are, but it's a nice kind of analog to the Tiger 1 and the IS-1 as well, so it's a nice heavy with a bit of firepower too, which is something that America didn't really have at this BR quite to the same extent. Jumbo is a great heavy, and it's
Well, they had the Slugger with the 90, didn't they? That's 5.7 nowadays.
So yeah, it's a nice one.
Yeah,
I've got a couple
yeah.
of other things
Yeah.
to show you here too.
So-
Yeah, the other one is side 3.
ADATS is now anti-air in terms of the spawn point pool, but what I want to show you
They
is
changed
the
it from a
filter.
tank
Because,
destroyer.
Obviously, if you look at a vehicle like this, there's lots of colors and shapes.
Updated
You know what's
modules
going on,
as
there's
well.
Oh no.
So there's a filter here.
Oh.
You can select only individual
Oh, that's
parts to
pretty
look
cool
at.
actually.
If you want to know exactly where stuff is, because obviously it can get very cluttered. And
I like
especially,
that.
if
That's
you wanna
nice.
make videos on stuff and show everything a bit more clearly.
Well, the more they expand these models,
This will help you do
Yeah.
that.
The problem
So
is
it's
that
a
they're
nice little
technically a
feature,
nice
I think,
advantage, right? Like
which
if you're
will be
facing vehicles
expanded as
that don't
well.
have the expanded
I will very
modules.
briefly, while Mike's
Yeah, I
using
found
this,
that with the
show
show
you,
left.
Tennessee.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
that was the
It's
reason.
kind of a small
That was the
thing,
reason we
which
found
is
it.
just big for me. But also, lovely ship, big
boat,
beefy.
baby.
It's a beef ship. I like it. But I do want to very
10
quickly
quad
show you in the
40
test
millimeters.
drive something with the tracers, because something that I struggle with, because one of my eyes doesn't
You
work.
mentioned that in real
is
life there was
seeing
only 2 of
tracers,
these
especially
guys.
from range, and now, especially in Naval, the
Yes.
tracers have been improved.
Oh
So
my god.
They are much, much, much clearer. And you
Okay.
can see them from much greater distance, and you can see where they're going to land more. And
Fair enough.
especially on high resolutions, because previously tracers didn't scale with resolution. So we played
I
on
have the
4K
dev
and
stream
2K,
at
they would look
50%,
really small
guys.
and dull.
If I just put
Now
it
they
on
should be
full,
much
you won't be
brighter.
able to hear us, and then you would
I will do
complain
your
about not
disclaimer.
hearing us.
It's a
Like,
bit
I already
Do your
did.
disclaimer.
I already did.
So yeah, briefly.
Maybe some
Tennessee,
people
I'm
are a
sure
bit
I'll probably show you
regarded,
bit more
like it is
later,
what
but
it
I
is.
just want to show you the tracers. Very nice.
There is, by the way, going to be a
Let's go,
Russian
traces.
language stream with a BVV later on. If you guys want to catch
Woo!
that, you
Ah,
can
boy.
get more detail of the technical
go.
developments on these streams. We tend to show you, at
Big
least
old
try to show you all the
BVVDD.
vehicles and the gameplay situations. All right, let's move on to the next thing. This is not a new vehicle. This is actually the AV-8B that's currently in the tech tree for the US. But you may notice I have something a bit different here. Some weird-looking bombs.
What's going on there, Mike?
We are introducing a new ordnance type.
Oh no.
It's a guided bomb, but it's guided by satellite instead of by laser.
Okay.
Okay, so let me see if I can.
How is that gonna work then?
Yeah, how would that work
differently?
The regular laser guided bombs that we already have in the game, and what this means in terms of gameplay. So with laser guided bombs, you can only really destroy one target with each pass, because the bombs will continue to go for the target that you're designating with the laser. You do have the advantage of being able to change target with the laser whilst the bomb is already in flight, but for cast on stationary targets, it's a bit less than ideal. You have to do multiple passes in order to destroy multiple targets. GPS bombs can help with that. They are also guided, so you can guide them with your regular targeting points. However, they don't need a laser sight at all. They will just fly directly towards the target that you have selected and launch them on, which allows you to actually engage multiple targets in quick succession, even in a single pass, if you so desire. Now, there is a bit of a drawback with these. You cannot update the flight path once the bombs are dropped. And also, they do not work against moving targets. These are very much only against stationary targets. Now, this does mean in games like ARB, where you have stationary
It's like upgraded
boxes,
CCRP. Remember that on top when you can record allocation and then you
Yeah. It's like it's CCRP, but you can do it. You can basically do it.
Yeah, with
really
multiple
quickly.
things, multiple like marks.
Yeah, because they're technically going to be fire and forget.
Yeah, they're trying to limit it by not changing the course of flight. Whatever.
They don't tend to move much, so you can use them quite effectively against that. And because you don't have to maintain a laser lock, you can just
put them all at like 14.0 so you can't see them in ground. Why not?
On the bomb.
You are gonna be able to see them on ground because it's 11.7.
Yeah,
whatever it's higher than that, you put them in.
It's the curse of the desert.
And we haven't changed VR in what, like 6 months already?
Still waiting for those mid-tier ones.
We did one stream when nothing broke.
Yeah, the whole reason about separating the VRs within ground and air.
Right, we have a few targets over here. Good thing is I don't actually need, technically, to lock onto anything. I can just point at the target and drop my bomb.
They're giving the balance of this game to a guy not from listed, apparently.
One on that SPG, one on this guy.
Look at this, like.
This guy.
It's GVU38 JDAM. They introduced the new ones as well.
Yeah.
Just let it work.
It's not the conventional payway.
Wobble wobble time.
It's more agile than the laser guided bombs. So it shouldn't be less of an issue of losing your on your target.
Wow.
Hey, there we go, it finally worked!
Brilliant.
Jesus Christ.
Fantastic stuff.
Oh my god.
That's great.
Now, these GPS guided bombs do have a limited time of guidance, so even though you could technically physically throw them further than 10 kilometers away, if they stay in the air too long, they will lose guidance and fail, at least in the current iteration on.
But they're satellite guided. Why would they lose
I
guidance?
love when they
What?
always bring this like little,
What, the balancing?
Yeah, to try to like dispel you from your initial thoughts.
I remember when they did that for the SU-25, and with that stupid fire and forget missiles.
Stationary targets or moving targets. Now, the planes that currently have access to these laser guided, not laser guided, to these GPS bombs in the game are the AV8B variants, the tech tree version in the American tech tree, the Italian tech tree. There's also a new premium one we're going to check out in a second.
Do you remember when they first showed these though? They what was the vehicle? It was like the Japanese Phantom.
EJ Kai.
Yeah, the EJ Kai.
It was the smaller, JDAM. I think it was like a 250 or something.
Yeah.
I think I may have to restart. Okay, there we go.
All good.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Just a slight scare.
Goddamn.
So we can actually talk about the new AV8B as well as the other new planes for the US. So this is the new premium AV8B NA. You may notice that it is at a substantially lower batch rating than the tech tree version. For one
Does it
very
not have
simple
AMRAAMs?
reason.
Yeah.
It doesn't have access
It has
to
only
either
an L.
the A9M missile or the AMRAAM.
But it still has a lot of guided weaponry, doesn't it?
4 AIM-9Ls at 11.3, that'll be good.
Well, Sea Harrier level, isn't it?
Yeah.
That you have for
Yeah,
But
exactly.
with guided weaponry.
and also gets the new JDAM GPS guided bomb. So the premium version should be a bit better for doing ground RB as well, since it has a low battery rating, so it won't be facing too high SPA systems.
Yeah, but wait,
Yeah,
you're
well,
supposed to
it's
have
not
this
enough
BR
to-
thing. You remember you
Yeah,
added
yeah.
this BR thing, so you wouldn't do that?
These JDAMs are about 500 kilogram bomb
Fucking
equivalents, I
idiots.
believe. Actually, 500 pounds. but they do have a decent splash damage.
Is this
so
like a
I
new
have
screen,
had
by the
some
way?
maps
This
where I
this
went
is
for
kind of
central
cool,
target,
where you can see
was
them
actually
being
able to
added.
take on all the targets
I don't
at
know if
the
they're just
outskirts
like
as well,
cropping
which
the
makes for
the
a
screen of the
very,
other guy, or if
very
it's
Yeah.
really a
efficient
thing.
grinding machine.
It's kind of
especially
cool, but
with
yeah.
the premium bonuses. It is a bundle vehicle, so you can look forward to it becoming available either on the update or as a pre-order fairly soon. All right.
Those are the
updates we
pre-orders
have.
you were
We
wondering
have
the
also
other day,
new
Tech.
A10.
Yeah, the P16 and the
A10C,
AV8.
finally an upgrade to the venerable old A10.
Okay, so what's the difference
Really
between
the
this
main
one and
issue
the
with
other
this plane,
one?
which was the lack of a
Shit,
good
man,
target
you know.
pod, which
Oh,
meant
I guess
Probably
a
gonna give like
targeting
M9M.
pod.
though you had the star mode,
Yeah,
you
and
couldn't
the
use it at
and the
all
guided
that long
bombs.
of a range, which in Grand RB does mean that you would more often than not be within SPA range. The A10C does fix that somewhat. You get access to the
When they use that as
targeting
a
pod, which is a thermal
like a
targeting
good
pod, by
feature.
the way, with a very good
AP
range, which will allow you
KWS2?
to spot
That's the
targets
Those are
standard
the-
very,
antenna of
very
it.
far
I can't
away.
remember.
No,
Apart from that, you
those
also
are
have an
usually the
upgrade to your
helicopters.
missiles. You're not
And
getting
those
Oh,
intelligent
yeah.
rockets.
9Ms, of
as you may
course.
recall.
Yes.
These
Yeah,
are
there you go.
IRC
Keep putting it up in
missiles.
BRs. Keep doing it.
They cannot be
I'm sure it'll be
countermeasured
fine.
very easily, which means you are going to be having an easier time engaging enemy air targets. Although keep in mind, it's still an A10. It is still slow. You're not really going to be dogfighting much stuff.
Oh, wanna bet?
In case, for some reason, you ever ran out with of fuel with the A10, you also have access to free drop tanks, because
Immense.
why not? You just get access to your paveway and all of the other diamonds. You also have these laser guys.
Yeah, it is a new style.
rockets,
Look at that one,
Yeah.
because
which
it
can
shows
actually
you
be
like what
useful
it's carrying
against
right
SPA,
away.
especially the
That's pretty
41
cool.
mm penetration version.
Yeah,
Which is
you can see it
Yeah, I
in
hope
real
this
time.
isn't just in like
and
their
can be launched from
version.
a
I hope this
fairly
is in the
long
game.
range if you get the arc correct. And you also have a new AGM-65L, which is a laser guided.
Oh, the HE,
Intriguing.
the
Sounds very interesting.
the
This
overpressure
does have
AGM.
a
Nice.
semi-armored
Yeah, but
piston
this one
warhead,
is
which is one
it's laser
that feels a
guided.
bit
It's
more
not one of those
lively
fire
than
brigade.
the heat warhead versions, although you do still have access to those as well. Now, good thing is with the with the target pod, it is going to be much easier to engage targets from way further away, which means you should have a slightly easier time in ground RB to deal with SPAA, as well as in air RB, since you do have the added missiles. An easier time in
Just use the
engaging
Ds,
aircraft.
for the love of God. You have just
And
use the
finally,
Ds. You have a
one
thermal
last
pod now.
one
Just
to
what the
mention
hell?
is this.
Oh,
The
awesome.
F111F,
New boy.
an upgrade to
Aim
the
9Ls. God damn
There
it.
are two of these. We have one for the
Rocker was
Americans
just
and one for
mentioning
the
that one
Brits,
to me
which
yesterday.
I'll show you later on. Major differences. Let's see. You
Please
get a
stop
new
it with
targeting
the
pod
Aim
with
9Ls on
the
these
cave
things.
attack,
And here, you're gonna
targeting
still
pod,
bring the
which does
gun?
also have
Bring
thermal,
6 of them.
vision. Makes it easier
And
to
the gun.
spot and engage
Oh,
targets.
Jesus, at
You
11.7.
do have access to the A9Ls now.
Oh my
Upgrade over
god.
the previous version. These are still not the best missiles. Of course, the AIM-9M is going to be way better than these. But
Oh yeah,
Right.
they're
you should be able to get
terrible.
some
Yeah, they're
anti-air kills
awful.
with these.
Absolutely
And you
terrible.
also have access to guided bombs now.
That's what
Fantastic.
happens when you get
Good
everything
upgrade
for
in terms
free
of
and you don't
armament
have
and
to do
ordnance.
anything, man.
It does not have the same amount of
These are the types of
countermeasures
opinions
as the
that
previous
comes with
F111. However, the British
At least
version
it doesn't
does
get
more
like stock Aim
countermeasures.
9Bs
So
or
there is
something.
very much a reason
True,
for that.
So keep in mind, BRs are basically placeholder. Do not pay too much attention to them. It's all just
How many
stuff you
countermeasures
do.
did it have? Did anybody see?
52.
Too much.
52.
Ah, okay, so not
There's one
great.
more thing that I wanted to mention. You may have already seen it on the top left corner if you were paying attention. We have a new altimeter there. It's in red. It's called R-Alt. It's a radar altimeter.
The
long story
what?
short,
So it tells
if
you
know
your
what
actual
multipathing is,
altitude?
It's going to be very, very useful. In case you don't know, multipathing, essentially a very dumbed-down explanation here. If you are below a certain altitude, radar missiles have a hard time tracking you correctly. So if you fly low enough,
Yeah, I think that they
you can
decided
evade
to
radar missiles,
to
especially
lower
anti-radar
drastically.
homing
So all of those radar missiles
without
are
using
not.
countermeasures.
Yeah,
Now, before it was a bit hard
Radar
to do
alt
because you didn't
was
really
needed,
have an idea
definitely.
of how high off the ground you actually
It gives you
were.
your
The
actual
altimeter was
altitude,
always
so
going to
that's
tell
very
you
positive.
Your, altitude
Very
to
good
sea
change.
level. However, now with the radar altimeter, which is customizable by the way, you are always going to get an exact reading of how far off the actual ground you are. So you can see my altitude right now is 50 meters, but my radar altimeter
so
is
the game will
very
no longer
lively,
lie to you.
according to if I'm flying
Eh,
over
is
hills
that
or
thing is
over
deceiving because
valleys.
it's depending on the
There's one
map,
thing you
isn't
can
it?
do with
That in
these.
some maps you have like a higher altitude.
Yeah, because your
The
airfield
new
is at a
option, by
higher
the way,
altitude,
is in
basically.
options for air battle settings.
But
You
that's
can
really
change
good.
this to barometric and radar altitude, and you can adjust the minimum altitude that you want this to indicate you. It's a bit different here. The red is actually good in this case. You can set this to an altitude where you are going to be safe from a radar missiles. And as long as you're in the red, you're good. If you go into the white, then you're a bit too high. It's a very nifty way of just at a glance knowing if you are at the correct altitude to evade radar missiles.
Sweet.
So yeah, look forward to that in the next update.
I love the look of that thing.
Very
It
positive.
does look very
They
nice.
should have added it in the last update with the active radar homing missiles, but I'm
They
glad
should
it's
have
here
carried
now.
100
Yeah,
meters
it's like
as well
you-
instead
Yeah,
of the current one.
exactly.
Like
You have as
60
one thing.
right now.
Isn't it just called artwork?
I don't know.
Would make
I don't
sense
think
given
so.
that's what he
It's like a
plans
tiny
after.
little fella. I don't know. It just has that little nose.
I do like the camouflage on this thing very much.
It's nice that it works really well.
It does look very nice.
It does look nice.
Okay, before we go, there are also, of course, other planes that will get access to GPS bombs. Let me see if I can find the list. So we mentioned the 88Bs, as well as the Italian one, by the way, not just the US one. The
Buccaneer
is also going to get them. The F-15C, the F-14B, the F-16C, also going to get them. The MiG-29S.
Getting what,
MT,
sorry? The RF
They're
thing?
of
the
the
new
just
bombs,
Grip
the
bombs.
Oh,
GPS bombs.
okay, right.
And for the Japanese, we
F-15C.
have the F-16A and the F-16M, which are going to get them, as well as some of the Israeli vehicles like the F-15C, the F-16D, and the improved Buzz. Those are just some of the vehicles. There may be more added in the future.
Buzz
but for now, on
Meshupar.
the testing server, only a few
Not
vehicles actually
improved
have
Buzz,
the GPS
Buzz
bombs available,
Meshupar.
so keep that in mind. Okay,
Such a cool
next
name.
nation then, shall we?
Yes, certainly. Look at this. Like,
Ooh,
it's so nice. I love this thing. This is the P-16
looks so
Swiss
weird.
aircraft, and it's
F-84
made by
at
players.
home.
This is from the RevShare program.
It's like a Hunter
so if you
F-84. Look at that.
Capable of 3D modeling. You can join this program and add some aircraft or tanks or whatever you like. So anyway, this is the P-16. It's a premium pack vehicle I believe on the store. And it's pretty nice. It has the same 30mm guns as the Ariete and Secretario 2, so they're quite high velocity. Quite nice
It's
to
the
aim.
Hispano-Suizas, it's not the Aiden.
Yeah.
Performance-wise, it's a
I
lot
wonder
of
if they're gonna
performance
give
is
it
quite nice.
AP
It
though,
does have quite
because
a
the
range
other ones
of,
don't have AP.
ordnance. And as Mike showed,
Yeah.
there's now obviously a new menu here for showing your loadout. So if I just make up whatever, you can see them pop on real time, which is kind of a nice
Oh,
way
okay.
of,
So yeah, this is a new
giving you some
thing.
visual
Cool.
feedback on what you're doing, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, I like
Also
this
has
one.
the
Once
internal
again,
rocket
very
pod here
positive
too, like
change.
the Super Mysteer, I think, has it, one of those.
I think this is an A7 or an F8. The Crusader has
Maybe,
that.
yeah.
Just
I'm
a
not
little
sure, but
detail,
it's
right?
got
Because
quite
it's
a
pretty
nice
much the same
array of
amount of
weaponry.
clicks and whatnot.
The
Because if
missiles
you want
it
to
has
see the
here, I
plane.
believe
It's
these
just
are
better
basically
visually.
functionally
Yeah.
identical analogs to M9B, so nothing too extreme. It really is like a strike fighter. It's pretty nice. It's got nice performance for what it is. It's a really nice model. And yeah, I mean,
And it tells
hats
you
off
that
to
the
the guys
Swiss
who
are
made it. I
coming
think
to the
some people made
Germans.
it,
Mm-hmm.
with some help
That's the main
from
thing.
some others making the skin and then going to I think the actual museum where this aircraft is and actually modeling it. So it's
Rest in
really,
peace,
really
the
nicely done.
France.
They also
Fantastic.
said in
Really like
the
seeing,
devlog that there's
community-made
two
models in the
different
game. It's really
P16s.
nice. So
So
yeah,
Ah,
we might be
interesting.
able to get
Rank 6
a different
from
one for the tech
limited
tree.
testing I've done of it. It flies pretty
Mm.
nice. It's a comfortable vehicle.
Could you
Nice.
do a
No, I
test drive,
know.
perhaps?
I can.
By the way, this plane confusing me very much. It looks like an
Just-
amalgamation of
too bad.
various different planes.
Yeah, I
Um,
know what you mean.
It kind of reminds me a lot of the Meteor/Vampire.
Hmm?
The air intakes remind me of the A4.
Yeah, like everybody's just finding
Tails
more
actually
planes that
remind
is
me of
just
the Hunter.
they're
Yeah.
just
Wings like
combined
F-84.
into this.
From the side, it looks very huntery. Looks like that.
Yeah,
You see, like everybody's like, "Oh, this part
They
looks
ended
like
up buying
this."
hunters in place of it, so maybe there was some synergy there. I don't know. Yeah.
those wings are very large.
Yeah, imagine
Yes,
the
it's got a
Swiss
lot of,
going, you know what,
low
this
speed
like
performance is
indigenous
pretty
thing we've
good.
made, it's pretty
So
cool, but I'm gonna buy
It's
the
always quite
Hunter
nice to
instead.
have
so.
for
Because I
any
think
kind
by
of
this
attack
point they
aircraft
already
because
had the
do
Hunter. That's
do
why
some
they
amazing
Oh,
looping
fair.
maneuvers
they
on
took
top of stuff.
inspiration
It's
from it.
pretty
And that
comfortable
Hunter
to have
saved
that.
for decades.
And yeah, it's nice. So it's got my hotkeys. Yeah, it's got this sort of embedded bay underneath, and I think it launches 4 at a time. which is
We
quite
need
cool.
the
I
F-86D.
never really had too much luck
It's
with this
needed.
aiming-wise,
With
but
the
they're
Gecko
pretty,
with early
pretty
rockets,
solid.
Yeah.
interceptor rockets.
It's
By the way, I
time.
have the names of the creators. Nova 29R.
You remember when those things kept getting
Vitaly
passed to
and
EDFs? Like
Vlad
they were really
25
Yeah,
Rus
for like a
went
year.
for
Yeah.
For every different
Yeah,
So
nation.
yeah, I mean, absolutely. If you feel inspired by this
Oh,
thing,
by the
please
way,
do,
Nova is
get
the
a
guy who also
take
did the
a look.
TAR
There's, cockpits as
154
well,
and
the,
I believe the
it's a bit old now, but the
HE177.
H111
He's
A16
also
cockpits
made
by
the
far, which is
OV10, Bronco
Gorgeous. It's,
and
my
an
favourite aircraft,
Indian
and,
jet,
it's fantastic.
which I can't
So
remember
we
the
are in
name
sort
of.
of,
So
Ital, something like
Yeah.
that.
look into
Ital.
the one that
get a
the
cut
German
of the
guy
sail
was
as well,
involved
so,
with, was
Yeah.
it Tank
it's a
or
really good
someone
thing
like
to
that?
get into.
Kurtank.
Kurt Tank, yeah. But yeah, Nova's
It's got
very
the
good
high
at what he
velocity guns
does.
as well, which are easy to aim,
And he's
tracers are much
he's
easier to see. Previously,
a
these would
community
vanish into the
member
background.
basically.
Yeah, that's the main thing,
this
man.
one
Like, if you
anyway,
got some
so
of these guys with these
That's
skills,
fast
why
fires.
not?
They do,
Why
yeah.
not put them
And,
to good use, right?
200
You can
second
propose
high
them.
velocity
If they get
than
accepted, you
so
make
they're
good
quite
money.
well, quite easy to aim.
You mean to tell me if I can hit something with them?
Yes.
All right. Well, thankfully, we do have a vehicle here where we don't need to aim ourselves at all.
Look, it's
Oh,
Germ,
For it,
Schützenpanzer,
there is now a new
underscore Puma, underscore vid.
Schützenpanzer Puma, which, yes, of course,
It's
gets
spike
access
time.
to the
Da-da-da.
Spike ATGMs.
I thought,
The
how
Spike
much do you
ATGMs
really
have
need
been
to
in the game for a
explain this
while
when
now.
it's Puma with
These are
spikes?
flying ATGMs. You just lock onto the target,
Literal
fire them
Puma
off,
with
they fly
spike.
into an arc or directly at the target, depending on the distance where you're at, and hit the target autonomously.
Yeah, if you manage
Now,
to
of course,
track
in
them,
game, given that
these
they only go
missiles
for
are.
center mass, there's a bit of an issue with them always hitting the cannon breach, but it's a Spike.
This missile is throwing a coin in
You want
there.
on a Puma, which still has access to all the same ammunition options with the APF SDS at the top.
And
If you're
it'll
also
still
going
be
to want
good.
to check where this is going to be in the tech tree, just right after the regular Puma.
It's like the
you will get a
links,
better
they
rating
put it at
increase because
10
of the HGMs,
Yeah.
so keep that in mind, but it should synergize
The
fairly
real
much of a reason to
question
use it.
is, do German players still
Yeah, I
need
think
the
it makes sense. I mean,
KF-41?
obviously, it could have been a mod for the
Or are you
regular, but that
happy
would
with
obviously
just
trigger
having
a
this?
VR change. And also,
Yeah, well, if you want to
having two
entertain
options means you get an
delusions,
extra spot.
childish,
Point really
hellish
to sort of
mentalities,
talk
sure,
about
precious
the, giving you
Because
more
it's
options
more
overall.
content.
So now you have two Pumas to spawn in. Yeah, I think it'd be
El
nice.
Pomero.
Good stuff.
All right, let's move on to the next nation. We have a
They got
new
another
SDA.
new eagle behind
So
him.
briefly
huh?
show you
Yeah.
the new Shilka. Basically, it's the same as the regular version.
Afghansky.
It's the same as this one. Like,
Radar
what else you're
system
gonna
is
explain from this? Well, it's Chico without radar.
Yeah, it's got a reload.
It's going to be at 7.3. I think the regular Shilka is 8.0, so it's a lower BR. Fits into that lineup. It's I think it's sort of sandwiched between two anti-airs that are not really the most effective in terms of anti-air, like the
Wait, what?
ZSU-23-4 and the ZSU-57-2. And not quite,
I mean, that's
as
fair.
reliable, at least for me personally. Like the first one's mostly
The 37
like,
annoys
disguised
me
as an
a
anti-air.
lot to play.
Well, the latter is not
Yeah, so
quite
that one,
sort
it's
of
mainly a
volume
tank
fire, it's
destroyer,
maybe it's
huh?
gonna be pretty nice. I mean, it's very reactive. The turret traverse is incredibly quick. And while you it's
Ow. Sorry,
pretty
guys.
comfortable to use. Like, it's quick, it's reactive. You can point and click at someone quite quickly. And so I think at 7.3, it's going to be very dangerous. It just won't hold your hand too much in terms of actually getting the guidance, but I mean, the volume of fire and the damage, you know, it's only got a bit of hand.
Yeah, the update
Yeah, it's,
teaser trailer just
I think a
turned
good
up
middle
for me
ground.
for
There's
some
something to
reason, so
balance them.
sorry about that.
It also fits very well into the 7.3 lineup, which is
Exactly,
already
yeah.
very good by itself.
Yeah, I think that's another core reason of it being added here.
Very good by itself.
not
What?
too much.
Oh, wait. I'm hoping. Yeah, I'm guessing he was talking about the lineup.
Oh, did you mention the new X-ray?
Yeah, well, this
Yeah.
the stories do
Sure,
have sense reliant.
Yeah,
If they want to keep it
BTR,
as they are.
IS3.
Have new internal
IS3.
modules, and there's a full list.
The,
on the show you
those
what,
T-44s
what
as
exactly is
reserves.
being added. But there is the filter, so you can see which bits
And
is what,
fully modeled
is
as
what
well.
sentences.
Yeah.
And it will show you where
Yes,
everything
all
is,
of the new
so
vehicles
on
are supposed
with a
to keep
clearer
the
picture, because
standard,
it can
right?
be
Yeah,
quite
looks like it.
difficult
I
looking
wonder
at this,
which
especially with
ones
your
they'll
point of
also
view, and
update
it can be
afterwards,
overwhelming,
like
it
or
definitely
update
is.
now.
So it's a nice way to differentiate.
Yeah, there's a new X-ray filter.
a
It's
bit more
cool.
detail and show where bits are. You have something a bit more exciting to show, though, I think.
I do, yes. We have a new attacker for USSR, top tier. This is the SU-24M, and it looks absolutely amazing. Swing wing, double engine, double cockpit with some very nice armament options.
I guess the Cap
this is
500
currently
S.
the only Russian plane that has
Yeah.
access to GPS bombs. I did mention the MiG-29 SMT is probably going to get them as well with the updates. But here we have the KAB-500S bombs. These are 500 kilogram bombs with a very, very good splash radius. As I mentioned before, these GPS-guided bombs cannot be altered in course after they are dropped. But unlike GPS bombs, unlike laser-guided bombs, you can very quickly launch multiple at a time. So I can just drop one right there, and let's drop one right there, and one right there, and then I can just fly away.
This is giving me
And not have to worry
MiG-27
about them
flashbacks
anymore.
when they first
love how
added that,
bulky this
where
thing
people would
looks.
come up from
looks
really
very
high
good
and
to
then
this,
just
doesn't it?
fire multiple
It's also
missiles
how,
at different
like,
targets.
girthy and sort of
Yeah,
With the
well, it's at the
cages.
CAV,
tiny the wings are.
the CAV 500
I don't know if I like that.
R,
Wings
and also the
also,
KH-29.
if
Those
I
are
can get
pretty
my
much fire and
forward
forget.
sweep,
Yeah,
they do tuck
And they
back
could kill you
very,
when you're
very
moving.
nicely.
Very streamlined.
such a big vehicle.
Nice looking thing.
You can also use
Yeah.
flaps if you have the wings fully extended. And we also have some very nice air brakes here, with these two giant flaps deploying at the bottom, as well as
Don't really
some
know if you'd
spoiler
use
ones,
this
I guess,
in
on the
game
wings,
though.
which deploy at lower
Like
speeds.
compared to other
Especially
things.
when you have
It's
the
gonna
wings
really
completely
depend on
out. In fact, I may
SPR.
do so right now.
It's
If I
pretty
do
much dependent on what you have available
track
to you.
mark the
Yeah.
Would you really use these ones
Oh,
over the ones
something to show is
that are
the
also
fire rate of the
intelligent
gun.
fire and forgets, and they can
Yeah.
also track moving targets? And
That
so
is
on.
fairly quick.
You can
It's
have
got a
3
Vulcan.
extra gun pods on this thing. And they're all the
Yeah.
same as the internal gun, and it will
Gushy.
reach 600 rounds a second. And that's over 100 kilograms of burst mass per second. So if
Can
that could
fire
for
600
10
kilograms
seconds,
a
I don't think it can,
second?
but if it could,
What?
that's like literally like a ton of projectiles slamming into something, which is insane.
What?
Like it's like generally when the dev server's up and you can play around with it, put the gun pods on and just
Well, it's
mental.
it's because it has gun pods as well.
That's what you want to
That's
do
what it
as
is.
well. I'm not talking BS here with the GPS guided bombs. Even though the
Your
internal targeting
interface.
bot, by the way, this does have an internal targeting bot, which is fairly good, can lock onto and track moving targets. The GPS bombs will not. So if I drop a GPS bomb right here, it will go to the position where the
1000
tank
L.
was when I dropped the bomb. It will not follow the movement of the vehicle. So again, GPS bombs only useful against targets that are stationary. Main benefit being that you can engage multiple stationary targets in one run instead of one at a time.
So
So
do
yeah,
the cat
still
do the standard
internal
thing and
targeting bot
just
is fairly
lob it
good.
at people's
It
spawns.
doesn't have thermal vision, sadly, but it does
Pretty
have
much.
a fairly good zoom, so you should be able to engage targets from further ranges. Let's quickly go over
And
the
you're gonna be able
performance
to
options
outrange
for the
anything anyway, so that's not
Yep.
an issue.
Here it is in the hangar. All right,
I'll
ordnance
counter you.
options. You do have a lot.
Oof.
Wait, these are
R60Ms.
Say
We
2090.
go at
That's
the
not gonna be one of the
presets.
main
Yeah.
We
uses.
have everything from the R60M, fairly good. Although
Yeah, you're just gonna use the missiles on this thing. So
You have some drop tanks if you do.
If
need
it's
to
got
have
that
a
good
bit
of
more
a
fuel, especially
targeting
useful
pod.
in simulator mode, as well as your dumb bombs. You have your TV guided bombs. You have your
That one,
laser
like the
guided bombs,
1500
very high
KR,
caliber
that's
as
gonna be
well.
one of the main
These
ones.
should do a ton of damage, so this should be great for ground RB. You have your parachute bombs.
yeah, it has
You have
everything.
two variants
Like
of the
I
Carbon
don't know.
500.
I don't.
Either
Do
the
you?
GPS
I don't
guided
think you
variant
use
or
the
GPS
new bombs
guided
over
variant,
the
as well as
ones
TV
that already
guided variant.
exist.
So
Well,
depending
the
on
trackers.
any kind of
Yeah.
situation you find yourself in,
If you have something
can
to
select
prove, I
the
guess.
right ordnance loadout for well, making sure you win. Also, that's a lot of cans right there.
If you
Jesus.
select it and look at the burst mass in the stat card,
Ooh, let's check that out real quick.
burst
Burst
mass.
mass, 105 kilograms. Oh
imagine that.
boy, you can use this as an air brake.
You
generally.
can, you genuinely can. I tried it. It like flips around. It's great.
Should we try real quick?
Go for it.
I don't
Nah,
know if
let's
it's
waste
on the
time
track.
doing that bullshit. God damn it.
That's what we need.
Fucking regards,
We
man.
don't have a cockpit model just yet that I can show you, sadly.
Yeah, I think most of them.
Pretty
are
likes,
not
pretty
really
likes,
good
pretty
yet.
likes.
It's the
There's also a
Reddit
Chinese
moment.
jet, which looks very nice.
Let's
Okay.
go.
I've not seen it. Let's have a look later.
We shall have a look later. Let's quickly take off, and as soon as I take off, I will do a fire. Come on, come on, come on, and... Okay, we're still accelerating, surprisingly.
But that is like all of those rounds gone in literally seconds. Like that's
Yeah.
mental. That's
If
really
you
cool.
if you uninstall the new cannons mod, you can use this as a shotgun.
Oh, true. I've not tried that.
Hmm.
Interesting.
All right, there you go. The ZSU-23 coming in the next update.
Fantastic.
Next up, we have the F111 Britain. Let me load that up.
Go for it.
This one also benefits
It's the
from
Bogan
the
boy.
upgraded options. This is the
Is it
Australian
from
version, by the way.
Australia? It is. Hell
The
yeah.
Stormer
From the upgraded
AD.
Ordnance options, you have the
Ooh.
A9Ls.
Oh,
you
that's
have
the one with the
laser
Gatling
guided
and the,
bombs with
what
a
was it, like,
pistol targeting
Stingers
pod
or the
with thermal
Starstreak?
options.
Yeah, I think
Main
so.
difference between this
Oh,
and the American
hell
version, however,
yeah,
is you may notice 240
it's
counter
way
So
more
that's 10
countermeasures.
so you don't have to use the you don't
You
have to
can
use the
equip both
HBM
wheels
ever
off
again.
If you are going to
Yeah.
do ground pounding and ground RB to evade radar.
This
you
one's
bring
got a
flares
beautiful
and just
camera.
kind of drop a flare every few seconds
Well,
automatically.
this
so
one
you
is
don't
just
get,
some grey ones, so
boarded by
hopefully.
Well, it's got like
anti-aircraft missiles
the
once you're trying to protect some
The
ground targets.
forest
It'll be a
one?
fairly
the lightning
reliable,
on the
bomber
back,
for
and then
your,
also it has the
progression routes.
Australian Air Force roundel, which is the
Ah, I see
I
what you
can't
mean.
remember what it's called,
A
but
new
the
air defense for
alternate one,
Britain.
Yep.
the
Mm.
This is
low
the,
visibility one.
Stormer air defense system. I think
There
it's
you
the
go,
exact demonstration.
yeah.
Look at that thing.
It was pretty
Oh,
nice.
it's an
It fills a nice
equalizer.
gap in the
It's a
tree.
25
It's a
mm.
bit like the LAV
God
ADS,
damn.
the same sort of cannon setup.
Yeah, and stingers.
Stingers on top. Gets, I
Two
think, 8
stingers.
in total, and you get the 2 types. So
Wow.
same as usual, really. Like, it's the standard stuff. Thermals, I believe, are
Oh,
quite
stop
high quality.
starting
No
us
reload?
with the
I'll
E,
briefly show
man.
you. My mouse
Give the
decides to
K stock. Why do you hurt?
yeah,
Why do you
the
hate
firing platform
people?
is quite familiar.
God
It's
damn
quite
it.
tall, so
As if these
frame.
things are like very good. Like,
Pretty good
they
thermals.
barely can
Also,
hold their own.
I can see the traces against clouds now, which is fantastic. Sorry, I will just continue to talk about this.
No, don't worry.
It's
Yes,
brilliant.
do you
Like, this
remember that
changes my life.
there is also one that
It's
is
really
pretty
great.
similar to this one, but I
Yeah, so
think
you
it is
get
like the
the
30 mil,
2 missiles ready to go.
and it's
Uh,
and the
Six more
Starstreak,
internally
the one
Yeah.
that the
I definitely
that
remember
the other
that
one
one.
has.
Nice
Yeah,
enough, so you've
yeah,
got a
like
nice
now I'm
combination
remembering
between
what
very
the
close
versions
range and a
are.
bit longer. It's a nice. It fills a nice.
So
gap,
yeah,
but
nice
it's a
to
bit
see.
More, I think.
Means
Yeah.
that
to
you're not
use at the BR, 'cause
you won't
previously
get
there was
as
a bit of a
annoyed at the
technology
standard
gap between the
Stormer.
ADATs and the
It even has a machine
So
gun, man.
it's pretty nice.
And this
It's,
one's
proper-
low.
nice
This
vehicle
one's
to
proper
lower
design.
BR
works
than the
really well.
Stormer.
So
Jesus.
a bit more
That's
comfortable.
ridiculous.
Love
But,
little things.
that's
Who
really
is
funny.
like the
Factory.
pro Stormer
It's
player?
right after the.
Who's the
It's the
Stormer
same.
HVM
For
player?
the Stormer.
It's
is
the
someone
same,
which again is
the
a
same guy
SP1.
with the Roland
That's actually
pros.
a nice gap right there. I mean, the Stormer is decent, but you don't have
Right.
the,
It's just
the
not
gun.
like sorry.
Yeah.
It's a bit different. So you
Maybe
See, like, that's
maybe
what-
if you're on
that's what
one
you-
ping,
so yeah, it's a
maybe
bit
it's
more close
great
range.
on one ping.
Which oftentimes like
Yeah,
most
and
things
if
you're
the
gonna
other
see
guy
guns
is
in a bit
blind.
close range,
Yeah,
but
and the
it's
other
something
guy
for,
and the other guy doesn't realize he's playing War
Sounds good, doesn't
Thunder.
gonna work fine.
That's what happens when you get everything for free, man. You only play for the company. You become jaded. Fucking a snake oil salesman.
This is
Like these
the
two guys.
RCV prototype.
Let's go.
that
One of them is a
is
Squadron
fighting
Beagle.
vehicle
Nice.
wheeled
Oh,
with
interesting.
access to the 30mm Bushmaster
It has that PLSS
this
optic on the back too.
has a APF-SDS belt with 116mm
Squadron
penetration.
vehicles. That's
However,
kinda
no
surprising.
gems at all.
But good.
So you are going to be relying on your speed to get onto the
We'll be
flanks
grinding
of
that
the
one
enemy.
out.
We can have a quick look
Hell
at the
yeah.
mobility.
That's 2 squadron vehicles this
Does the
update.
commander sight
Crazy.
on the back work?
I
Keeping up the
believe it does,
pace, man.
yeah.
It was like a
So
good
you do have
while.
fairly high
Yeah.
demand
At the
on
last
commander
one.
side, which would have been a bit more useful. if
Oh,
you did have
also
access
for
to
Japanese
air
vehicles, there was an
Oh,
article
yeah.
that
Came
came
as
out.
but it's going to be firing from below.
There's microphone was
So
with
that's why this is
saturated.
from behind
Oh,
cover.
did it go
But
crazy?
let's have a look at the mobility.
He went for a second,
Back
yeah.
Oh,
with
sorry.
top speed of-
The
it was
the
0
DMM guys released
It's
an
still going
article
like 36
about
kilometers per hour, which is not bad at all.
how they got the voice
It's a bit
acting
of
for
a
the
massive
Japanese
truck,
vehicles. So
But you do have a lot of empty space in here.
Oh,
It's pretty cool.
interesting.
Survivability somewhat.
It's a hefty boy.
You have some extra crew.
Oh, was there, Abby?
To help you with
Ooh.
survivability. And generally speaking,
It
yeah,
might have been
even
just the
off-road
nation
performance is
bonuses,
not
though.
bad. If you get onto
What
the
is
road,
that
because
dome
the
on the
top
back?
speed forward is. The
Well, like
gun
an
is
optic or
stabilized,
some bullshit,
although
right?
the
Just all of these
speed
systems
bumps
are
will
just
still,
cored in
off course,
sensors
so you
and
need to be mindful
those
of
things.
that.
It looks
I
so
believe it
weird.
also has the infrared tracking system for aircraft, so you
Ah,
could use this as a
shit.
measured SPAA. Although
the
given that you
Bushmaster.
don't have any kind of proxy fuse rounds and the fire rate of the can is relatively low.
It's like the VVCI.
Dealing with them.
Like a lot of these things are in this VR range with
Yeah.
similar
This
capabilities.
is in realistic mode, so this is
It's amazing how
what you can
big this thing
expect
is, though.
when it comes out
Well, it'll be
into
fine.
the game.
The Type 16 finally has a friend
Slow
for
down
it,
a lot.
Tech. Rejoice!
I mean, I've seen worse.
Yeah.
I have seen worse. 30 kilometers per hour through the water is still fairly respectable.
It's got some heft behind it.
There you go. Turret traverse. Okay, so that is the issue with commander size in the back.
Don't even make me
So annoying.
You are going to be a bit limited with your firing arcs towards the back. You do need to be mindful of that. So try not to get engaged from behind, yeah?
Cool. though.
Although, to speaking, hold on, what's the most
That's true, because you have a lot of that crap.
given that you do have a bit of a hump there? It's roughly horizontal. You can engage some targets towards the back if they're
just a
not
bit.
too close.
You're gonna die if you
The
do
hump is
that.
fairly
Just
high, so we
don't.
can hide
Like,
from
whatever. Like, this is.
Alright, that is going to be the new squadron vehicle.
Good stuff.
Next
Yeah, the
up,
And the other one is
commander-
the tech tree?
Jets
Yeah.
for China. China
The
is
commander,
really good in this
if they
update.
give
You
you
can see
that
how
as a
important
commander
vehicles
side,
are
though, that'll
here.
be pretty good.
Let's
The
begin
CN Al
with the
Khalid.
J10A. This is a
Let's
jet
go.
fighter. Looks very, very modern. I like the way this thing looks.
Oh, but it's not a
like-
premium. Or
It is.
it?
Yeah, it has the talisman
it is?
sign.
But with
Yeah,
like
you
a-
see.
Ah, true,
Yeah.
true, true.
bunch of
Yeah.
G's stuck in its
Hell
throat.
yeah, this intake reminds me a lot of like the Typhoon.
Yeah, but like I don't like the hump. On
Antelope 10.3. Yeah,
It
they're
does
probably
look
gonna
weird
give you
now
like
that
some
you
of
mention
those
it,
more
yeah.
upgraded.
But
Yeah.
this
This is
stuff goes.
very pretty.
Here we got internal
Sky Sword.
modules. Here
China
is
is
the
strong this
engine.
update.
Keep in mind the internal stats
Yeah,
might
yeah.
not be completely accurate right now, so let's just go for the armament options.
PL12,
This is a jet
PL8.
fighter, so you have very limited capabilities
Shouldn't be
when
a
it comes to ground
surprise.
striking, although you do
Long
have some guided
range,
bombs,
short range.
laser guided bombs with the targeting pod, as well as dumb bombs and rockets.
You should
Although
definitely
your
bring
main
bombs on
armament is going to be the missiles. You can carry up to 8 of these PL8
do great.
missiles, which are very good, although they
It's
don't
for
have
ground
IRCCMs
tech,
or the
you just don't
artificial
get it.
flares. And you also have the PL12
With the PL8 star of
active radar homing
IRCCM.
missile, which you can carry up to 4 of. Ideal line is probably going to be this, with
So
my
they did.
preset, where I have 4 active radar homing missiles and 4 IR missiles. One thing to note, the J10, as far as I'm aware, does get access to HMD. So you can do much like you can with the MiG-29 and the
Good old head-mounted displays.
SU-27. You can log
For all those
on
good
with
old
your,
simulator guys.
IR missiles and fire them off bore of your direction of flight, which is very useful in a dogfight.
I don't like the look of the back of the like the hump on the back. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's putting me off.
It slims down for a bit.
Yeah.
Alright, here's the cockpit.
Yeah, it's
Looks
Yeah, there
fairly
you go.
snazzy. Your HMD is also visible in the HUD. If I turn this off, it's still visible. Should be fairly good for simulator mode. You also have a
I
nice,
don't think
display
its
here where you
countermeasure
can,
amount is
see what
correct.
you're aiming
There's
and
no way it
locking
would
with
only have
your targeting pod.
22,
In fact, if I
so
lock onto the ground there,
there's a lot of
yeah,
stuff not
it locks
finished
on.
about
Oh,
this thing
actually
right
it
now.
doesn't. Okay, maybe it only works with the targeting pod, maybe not with the well, internal targeting system. And yeah, good missiles, decent flight performance. Let's see what the
Those
G4
missiles are
is.
huge.
Around
Like,
8G at this
Yeah,
it's a
even the
big
short
ass
range
IR
ones.
one. Yeah. Looks like
Although this
the
maintains it fairly
Israelis
well.
one,
Keep in mind,
the
of course,
Python.
the flight performance is not final just yet.
It's because I think it is.
Let's quickly check.
I
our
think the
radar
PL8
total.
was a.
modified
It's a-
of it or something.
I think it's a licensed version, if I
Oh.
remember correctly.
Meters,
Like the PL7 is the
30
Magic.
meters.
I think the PL8
Ignore
is the
that tree, it's
Python.
fine.
Yeah.
The radar modes. You have TWS for your active radar homing missiles. You have pulse Doppler head-on.
It
of
does
course,
look
and
really
pulse
awkward
Doppler,
from behind.
and all the good stuff. And
Looks
okay,
nice
the
on the
flares are not
size.
quite correct just yet. So we are still working on that. At least right now, it has very limited flare capabilities. Okay.
Cool.
We also have
there
a
you
new
go.
squadron vehicle for the Chinese air tree, in case you are very far away from Chinese jets. We have the F-18 from wish.com/Temu. This is the JF-17.
My life for
It's a
Pakistan.
Pakistani vehicle.
Glory to
Wow.
Pakistan. I
What
love
is the best
Pakistan.
vehicles in this update? And it does look.
We were
like
mentioning
an
that the
F-18
pro-Pakistani
aerodynamic
faction
bit.
is gaining way too much strength.
Don't worry, guys. Not an F-18. Not yet.
The Indian
Anyway,
faction
we
has
have
to do a
68
combat.
large countermeasures. We have some.
It's time to
reduction
finally
capabilities
take what
with
is
this.
rightfully
Let's quickly check the
Pakistan's.
secondary armament.
Kashmir
You
is
do
ready
have
for the
the
taking.
PL5E multi-rocket missiles, which are a bit
They're
less
gathering
powerful,
public support.
but you do still have active radar homing missiles, although these are also
Time to get the
SB-10
bats with the
A.
spikes.
the ones found on the J17.
Let's
not
fight
J17,
over the mountains for the
J17,
50th time.
JF10.
I'm sure it'll work this time.
And you have drop tanks on this one. You have bombs and
Deployed
most importantly, you have
weaponized
laser-guided
monkeys
bombs.
with monkey
This is more of a
box.
strike fighter variant, more of a multi-purpose jet, so you can use this more effectively in ground RB to deal with enemies with your laser-guided bombs. And in fact, you can get a fairly decent amount of them.
Yeah, what
Put
wins?
together
The MiG-21
a
Bison
targeting
or the
pod as
JF-17?
And of course, some rockets.
This
if
will
you-
decide
Wow.
the Indo-Pakistani
It's going to be more
conflict.
of a multi-purpose jet, but actually
All of the
J10
pro,
is going to be
all of
more
the
dedicated
pro-Indian
as a
War Thunder
priority fighter.
faction flies the Bison. All of the
Okay,
pro-Pakistan
we got
War
two
Thunder
jets
faction
for
flies this one.
China, there's one meme I need to do really quickly.
Go on then.
The
Oh,
Antelope.
Tom, look!
It's wide
Oh,
as well.
dear.
Oh, it's got the snow
So
camo. Never
in some
mind.
animus at the start, the main character gets run over, and then they go to the magic world of
Jesus
elves and
Christ.
that.
Is it disturbing how many animes feature people getting run over by trucks?
I think I played a game where that happened. Is it Nino Kuni?
Just show me the missile,
It's one that
please,
looks like a
for the
Miyazaki
love of
film. I
God.
think that happens at the
Yeah,
start of that.
but a lot of the things that
don't
this
know.
miss,
Anyway,
you know
yeah.
that the stat cards are just so
Truck criminals in the game,
incomplete for these
Great.
missiles.
He was so
Yeah, I
happy with
know.
that. He loved that.
I'm very happy.
I know what you mean.
I could really show you the Antelope. I love vehicles that are basically just thing on truck, and this is really the epitome of thing on truck. So it's really nice. It's got great mobility. It's a very quick platform, but only 4 missiles. Obviously, there's no place internally to store anymore. Those are hefty.
They're
missiles.
huge.
So you are very limited.
Or maybe
It
the
does have
truck's just
maneuverability
small.
To get to cap points and,
I think
replenish
it's
them, so
both. It
Yeah.
looks so
Pretty okay
such
there.
a civilian truck. Yeah.
Armor, obviously, there's not really much to look at. You are fragile. You're weak to everything. I'll briefly show you the
Let's
stats
see.
on the missile. It's pretty good. It's solid. And
Seems fine.
Yeah, so you're like 3
No.
kilometers in all
See the
aspect,
anti-air
lies.
line here?
No
Obviously, the
IRCCN.
PGZ,
6 kilometers
and
in
4 at the
rear
top.
aspect, lies.
It's a nice kind of middle ground. It works quite well. Missiles
Did
are
it
pretty
have
effective. I
the
had a
photo
play around with
contrast?
them earlier. It's nice.
Oh, it's not
Uh,
that. They will
I
need to
didn't
test
see
drive
that,
it
yeah.
to see
I
it.
like cool
Yeah,
truck.
we need to test drive.
Yeah, we've got a couple more. The ZTZ-99A got a model update. Now,
Ooh.
I never really played
Oh.
it too much, so I can't really talk about the exact
Oh,
particulars. but
gay. Of
some
course you didn't.
issues with it have been fixed. On the surface, I think it's a catastrophic change, but a lot of issues with it were fixed, so it's much more accurate now, which is pretty nice. So you can have a look on that.
Thank God the Chinese guy died for this.
You also have a premium, the Al-Khalid.
Oh, that
which
guy
I
was an
believe
apostate.
is
Yeah.
a
That guy.
slight modification of the MBT 2000.
Al-Khalid
So
tank,
thrown
the
off the
eternal
cliff.
tank
Premium.
tech.
I like stuff like
Not
this.
to
It
be
doesn't take
confounded
away
with the
anything from
Khalid,
tree, it's like a
the
slightly
one you're
different
supposed to
version
do in a
something that already
showcase of.
exists. That
This
works
looks
pretty well.
awful.
And
What
the
is
main
this thing?
functional difference is that the
This is an
aero
MBT
blocks are here at
2000
the
that
back.
Pakistan
Because
adopted.
they're separated, they actually work pretty well as protection against the back of the turret.
Looks
Which is
awful. What
pretty
do you
nice. Aside from
mean?
that, I believe it's
The
very, very
skin,
similar
like,
to the MBT
seems
2000.
bad.
So not too
So
much else to,
Pakistani.
well, if you're familiar with that, you're familiar
So
with
now
this.
we have
Get some cool, well, it's another cool skin.
the Al-Khalid
like
1
or-
versus the
I like that, I
Bishma.
think it's cool. So that's another pack.
Ah,
It's
true.
pretty much a perfect premium.
You know, this one,
Let's go over the armament options.
it makes
It
sense.
should be the same.
Yeah.
as
It makes
the
sense, but
2000.
because they're adding all of this new
10.125.
generation of premiums, right? Like the
Yeah.
11.3s and whatnot, and I guess
So
they
it should be
couldn't
the
find
same.
like an 11.3 for China, so I just decided
Yeah,
to
it's
stick
nice.
this
They
one
work
in.
quite well. It's a nice little vehicle. It doesn't have the crossed reverse gear as well, so you can
It's a
actually,
fun tank because it's
use
pretty
the
mobile.
mobility a bit more
Yeah.
effectively. It's a pretty.
It has the
solid
good
vehicle. I think
transmission.
For 10.7 as a premium.
Yeah,
it's
it'll
not
be
taking anything
fine.
away from
Like,
the
I don't
main
know.
tree, it just
It-
adds another
Yeah.
alternative if you want
Enjoy
premium in
facing
there.
top tier.
it's
Like,
pretty
what can I
solid.
say?
That's the main thing, right? Like
Yeah.
some of the areas are so
Alright.
compressed.
Yeah,
Now
maybe
let's
if they
move
put
on
up
to
stuff to
Italy.
12.0,
Italy
like,
gets a
maybe
new
it'd be better.
tornado. The tornado.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Another
Just
tornado.
before the
No way.
1995 version.
Wow,
So,
he's
some
mocking.
stuff removed,
Well,
but the
Italy
little
has
bit
like
to factor
everything
into
else, so
some
who
of
cares?
the
Like, they
ground
have all
people
the
still
other
whine
meta
about
things.
in the
I
tech
don't know why he plays them.
The
Yeah.
main differences. Did I write them down? I think I forgot to write them down, so we can check it out.
It just doesn't have the targeting pod.
Yeah, it doesn't have the targeting pod. So you
Wow.
have
It's like the Marine Flieger
Yeah.
or the premium one.
Unguided
Or
bombs.
the
Or you can still
Asta.
get the extra chaff
No,
pods,
because
which
that one
is
has the
very
pay
nice
voice
to
and
see.
whatnot.
Oh, it does,
This
yeah.
one is like
Compared
the
to
only
the
dumb 1000s.
1995 version.
So it's gonna be 10.3 in
which
ground,
does have
11.3
the,
in
laser guided
air.
bombs. So you lose the
It's
laser guided
pretty
bombs,
ridiculous to
slightly
say.
low battery rating. If you are good with dumb bombs and you are not too afraid of getting into SPA range, you can still use this as ground RB, or you
There's
can
no
do
really a choice, aren't you? There's not really a choice.
base bombing with the dumb bombs, which is still going to be just as effective as before. Alright, next up, what do we have? Let me check because I need to scroll down. We have France, right. We have France. We have
Oh,
a
will
ground
that
vehicle, which is
Dutch
also
thing be a
squadron vehicle.
premium or not? Squadron vehicle, another one?
Squadron vehicle.
Third squadron
Naval
vehicle.
Expedition. It's interesting this is in the French.
Crazy.
Actually, it doesn't make sense. We had to be an extra in last update.
Why is this one
Yeah,
10 as well when the Danish one is
35.
9.7? Did they give it another round or something like that?
Master cannon, no HGMs, but with access to the APF SDS shell.
No,
and
I don't think they
31mm
did.
off
Yeah, I
penetration.
think it's exactly the
Should give you
same.
a nice, option
Apart
for
from
your
the
tank on
little
your
extra
lineup.
like, composite
And
screen on the
given that this is a
side.
squadron vehicle, you can get this fairly easily just with an active squadron.
They still haven't hired the Dutch and the Belgians yet.
Roughly 3
No,
months, I
not
would
yet.
say. You should have it.
Tragedy.
Yeah, so the
CV9035
CV9035 DK is 9.7. So
CV9015.
I don't know why this thing is 10.0, but I'm sure there's a reason.
Make this a habit in every single
It would be
stream.
useless
Hey guys, look
if
at
it's
that,
gonna be
it's
alone.
offset.
Yeah.
XD.
Have you ever noticed the share being offset?
Yes.
You're an
Well, on
eight
this
times,
one it's
yeah.
pretty noticeable.
Yeah.
It's not like
Remember.
some
Now,
of those
we do have lots of
MVPs
stuff
and
here. What is
Oh,
this?
that's
So
slightly
Yeah,
this is
it's a
the
bit
French
closer,
coastal
yeah.
treat, the preliminary release.
Wow.
So,
There you go.
La
Start,
Combatant.
the
I have
arm
heard that name
Combatant.
is a little
before.
crest.
Did you
You've got
mention
two
it in one of
little
your
Shinkans at
videos
the
or
front.
something?
There's
It
a
does look
vehicle in
quite,
the
lackluster,
naval
but
tree
these
which is
photos are
already
very
called
quick.
that.
So
It's
uh,
the
Ah,
Hun,
fair
the
enough.
Hun
That's
class.
why.
Yeah, it's the Hun
They have
class in
speed,
blue water.
which is quite nice. That means they're going to work
A
quite nicely in
combatant.
your higher tier
So we're
lineups
gonna have
when
two
you're using
combatants.
tiny boats to go and
This
hassle
one
some
looks
bigger-
pathetic.
it will work quite effectively for that. So at the start, that's mostly what you've got. Later on, they start getting some actual weapons. This one has the Oerlikon on the back. There's a couple of interesting variants.
It's so
This is
annoying
basically the techie version
going
of
through
Premium,
all those
VT,
things.
VLT1. The most interesting, I think, is this one.
What are
It's
those
like a fishing
turrets?
boat, I love
It does. It's like a little heavy barge friend, and it's got 225.
Oh
cannons there as well,
no!
which is quite nice. Like an actual
Mhm.
artillery.
Oh,
And they actually have AP, which is quite interesting.
as
So
if
it's like-
France has
very
its
low
own
velocity,
Soku
Yes, they're not
Tase.
easy to aim, but this is like the armored
No.
God damn
barge
it, man.
equivalent for the
This
French,
one is
which
too
nice. I think It's a nice sort of
Ugh.
alternative.
87.6 millimeter turret.
That's quite
Why?
nice too. The other one to note
That's
is
some
this one.
weird ass
It's
caliber.
Naval. Does have
4.0,
the
you get
SS-11s
two
on the back,
40s.
which you can control,
And
which makes it fairly
Anti-ship
unique. The Italian,
missiles? Okay.
theater, I think it is. Has,
oh no, the rockets.
It's an SS-11.
It's an SS-11.
SS-11
SS-11
naval rocket launcher.
I like how flat this bit is.
What?
4.0, man. The
Uh,
SKR is
so
still
they quite nice
4.3.
little
That's the insane thing,
They do
right?
have
Yeah.
some to offer, and they're going to work quite nicely with the high tier lineups as well.
Nobody's going to
Just at
use
the
them.
start, they
Sad.
do look a bit
Mm.
lackluster, but if you are going to use them for supporting your bigger ships, with
We're gonna have a
torpedoes, they
great
do have that
time
speed, so it's gonna
grinding
work
out
quite
that.
nicely there.
Holy Jesus.
Buy the premium.
Yeah,
Buy the
nice
premium.
variety.
Buy the premium.
Jesus Christ.
And then I think it's Sweden. You want
Let's go
Sweden,
Sweden,
Alpha?
yes.
Sweden?
I love my KV-1s. This is the
It's
KV-1
5.0.
1942, which is the last of the sort of conventional KV-1 models before they
You know.
transitioned to the KV-1S. I think in...
If only it could be
I
in the
think
tech tree.
It was never officially
only that
called
would be the VR of
KV-1A.
the
I think
Freeman
it was like
tank.
the case that
Hmm.
Finland literally had two KV-1s, and so to differentiate them, they just are called A and B. Officially, I don't believe they ever held that designation, so I think this is the correct name. But yeah, this is the KV-1 M1942. It's a bit heavier. It's got a bit more armor, and
It's a
apart from that,
KV-1C.
It's very similar to the KV-1 ZIS. So armor-wise,
From
it's
Soviet
got the
service.
cast turret, so the armor is a little different to the regular version. If you angle it, it's pretty solid, and something the KV-1s are really good at is keeping moving, which makes the weak points change all the time. That makes them quite vague. The model's really nice. The armor's really nice. You can differentiate the later ones by the flat bit on the back here. Yeah, it's
Can I
currently...
just mention, from behind, if you squish your eyes a little bit, it looks like an M22.
Don't say that to me.
This is the
'cause I know what
same
you mean, I don't
BR
like it.
I'm very good at presenting
as
ideas
the
in these
premium
ways.
KV-1C with the 75 millimeter for Germany.
It is currently 5.0. Maybe it'll drop. I don't know. But the thing is, like, even if
Isn't
it
that one
was
like 5.3
4.7,
nowadays?
Oh, it's
there's
5.0.
no Swedish tank between, well,
Yeah.
it's 4.0 and then 5.0. There is
Maybe they
the
just copied the
anti-air
VR's
4.3.
over.
So even if it was 4.7, there's not really...
Yeah,
any
and the
line up for it anymore.
KV-85 is 5.0.
So it could go lower. I don't know. I
So-
mean, maybe it will change. Obviously,
Crazy.
every BR currently is
probably gonna drop
preliminary,
it.
so don't
They've
put too
have
much
to,
stake in
yeah.
that.
They have
It
to.
very well may change, but even if it did for the KV, it wouldn't really do much unless you want to just like solo it. Which is not
Yeah, if not, you
impossible, I
can
guess,
play it
but,
alongside the
it's a
PVKV.
nice
How
bit. You've got the extra armor. It's a little bit different from the standard KV as well.
1946
31
technology.
on the side is 77, where it's 75 normally, so it's a bit more of an updated model. The model itself looks really good. Yeah, I love stuff like this. So it should be fine regardless. You've got
There's no
very
way
good
it stays at
aggressive armor.
5.0.
Obviously, you're not going to want to play it in full up tiers, really.
That's
but
not
on
gonna
good
happen.
maps and good BRs, it's going to work great. Same as most heavy tanks. It's a really nice option.
Pull up tier
Very glad to
Panzer.
see
Bam! Straight through. You're done.
Yeah.
All right, and finally, let's move on to Israel. I guess I'll present the plane first then.
Oh.
We have a new F-16C, the F-16C Barak 2, which has some slight differences from the F-16D, mainly
Wait, what?
in the armament. With the
Is it
F-16C,
one of them is a
you get
C
access
and the other one
to
is a
the
D?
AIM-120A
I thought the difference
instead of
between them was
Derby
just
missile.
like single
The back.
cockpit,
Derbies are
double
better. I
cockpit.
think the Derbies are better,
Yeah,
but we have
it
an
has like
alternative
that
here.
square
Because
looking
you also
back.
respawn in Ground RB because you do get access to your laser guided bombs.
Okay.
As well
Yeah.
as we are planning to add the GPS guided bombs to both the C and D variant, in case you want to use those in Air R.
It's grabbing the barrel.
Model looks fairly similar.
Yeah.
I think there's some slight differences here.
Enjoy
Look at
grinding
the,
400k
camouflage
for that.
differences here as well. You have a Scorpion in the back of the Tech version that's already in the game. This one
It
is
is a
going to
beautiful
be
skin.
slightly different with this skull with wings.
Skeleton.
Looks fairly,
Wings
fairly
of
nice.
Redemption.
Not all the skins just yet. Hopefully by the time the update releases, we will have some. I believe the C variant is also slightly lighter than the D, so should be a little bit better in dogfighting. Keep that in mind when you are taking this thing out for a spin. All right, we have one final vehicle to present.
No C10.
Sorry, I'm coughing. I don't know why that's happened. This is the Tehran 6.
Hey,
let's go.
T62.
Aggressive. That's
Nice.
a good word, isn't it? Just made that up. Can't even talk. It's a more aggressive
With
looking
50
T62,
cal.
basically. You've got some extra track armor, some boxes, and a lot of machine guns.
Barrel
on top.
mounted.
It's pretty
Great.
nice. I love the T62. It still
No
works pretty
smoke
well.
grenades. Sad.
Oh.
Reload is not like.
Oh, why they couldn't upgrade that one, man? This one gets the final
The turret armor
opportunity.
weirdly works quite well, at least I found. It's nice you've got like
Yeah, man.
a mental 8-7 lineup. You've got like all of these. You've got
That's the one that I use often.
vehicles there to
That's the one that I
line
use.
up with. Even beyond XBR because
You're
the
not a
guns,
macaque
like,
high
solid
level
is still
leader.
gonna work.
You wouldn't get it.
I grinded it out. It wasn't bad.
It's a nice bit of
It was okay.
well, interesting vehicle. to
Apart
look for.
from
It's
when I got
rare.
overpressured
Something I
through the
like about
rockets many
Is
times.
that even though they do
Nah,
have like,
nah.
a lot
Which
of
makes no
vehicles that are
sense,
from
by the way.
elevations,
That doesn't
they make
happen
them
to
all
true
unique
patriots.
Sort of in their own way, which I think works quite nicely.
T62 is a
I
god
like that.
tank.
I like the
Nice to
T62,
see
it's
one.
gonna work
I'll
great
play it.
here, and it's
You've
a
always
nice
been a
lineup.
T62
Not too
loyalist.
much
It's
else
a
to
pretty
say.
decent tank.
You all know what this vehicle is, but it's a really nice addition, I think.
All right, and that is it for the new vehicles. We can have quickly a look over the tech tree positions in case you want to prepare for the updates. Also, I forgot to mention something. We are adding new modules for helicopters. You may see we have a lot more stuff here in the HC4.
Ooh,
I believe the
electronic
KV-2
block.
also has them currently ready. Yep, there we go.
All in the
this
ass.
is going to be making a lot of ground players very happy in knowing that there's much more stuff we can actually
Of
hit now.
course, because it was
Not just having
bullshit,
an
man.
API.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
happy because it's a reivindication from years.
It's not quite ready yet. These will have some effects if they are hit, much like with some of the other modules. So
Yes, I believe at the start they are going to have very limited functionality in terms of if you damage them, they won't really do anything. But the main point is to have geometry inside the helicopters. Like Mike said, if you hit it, it's going to create more spalling, which is the overall point, because helicopters are full of stuff all over the place, which will create secondary fragments, etc. So that's the main idea, is to fill up empty space with stuff so that you're not going to go right through. Yeah,
And then they mentioned in that dev block that they're also going to be like correlated, eh? So if one of them starts to fail critically, it starts to affect our systems until they eventually go down.
Yeah, but I think they just said that's not going to be in yet. But I hope it will.
we can see the HC4 again.
You
This is
mentioned that it
just
was
to
going to be ready for
increase
September.
spawning.
News for people in tanks.
I'm going to be...
Very nice. All right, let's have a quick look.
We're
the tech
reporting on what we are told, and then they
Z1E1
say that, no, man,
is
we need more
between
time,
the
dude, we need more
Jumbo
time.
and
Okay.
the other Jumbo, which the 90mm gun with APHE should be fairly promising. Something interesting I noticed, by the way, I'm not sure if the other one had this already, an SCP shell for
I think the
T37.
Locust gets it too.
Why would you? Whatever. Why would you use that shell?
APCs and SPA.
Yeah.
No, the 37 already had that one a good while ago. Like some of the Stewards had it.
In the tech tree,
But
in fact,
did
from
the
settings even.
T1E one have it?
This one gets GPU guide.
The normal one? I don't
guided
remember
bombs
really.
as well as
Let's
targeting pods, so
see.
you can have longer range
It does.
engagements. The F1
Never mind.
guns,
It's still
right
there.
after
Yeah,
it's
you
already
see?
there.
Like, so.
For the
Upgrades
third time, this
missiles
is what happens when you don't play the game, apart from just
and
spewing
also
company
target
bullshit.
pod with, thermal
Get everything
vision.
for free.
Oh, it's after the
Tennessee, we
F111A.
can have a quick look at that. It's right at the end
And
of
an
the
Evada.
Nevada line.
Looking boat.
If we look at it. Look at that.
It's just beef.
It
Those
looks
kind of
pretty
filters are
impressive.
going to make the most sense
Yeah.
in ships. Now
Does
we
it
can
have
actually
a
see where all the ammo
reload
is stored.
which is less than
very
36
nice.
seconds?
So big.
Well, geez.
That's
They
all
still
I
haven't
got
added
of
that
that.
to a stat
It's a
card.
wide boy.
Yeah, it's
It
kind of
is a
weird
white
there.
boy. We also have a new pack, AV8B. This one loses AIM-9Ms and loses AMRAMs in favor of a lower batch rating. It will also get access to the new GPS-guided bombs, as well as the previous laser-guided bombs and general ordnance of the tech tree version. Germany, the Schützenpanzer Puma sits right after the regular Puma. Major upgrade being the addition of the Spike ATGMs. You get a total of 4 of them. SMS Derflinger, I don't think we showed this one. This is also going to be a
Derflinger.
fairly heavy ship.
Der Flinger.
Right here.
It's a World War One
There's a
one.
lot of
Definitely
different
looks World War
so
One.
I'm sure the others can cover it.
What's it sunk at Jutland?
Not Deathstream, Devlog. You may be able to.
Did it
look
fight
up
in
that.
Jutland?
Well, yeah, that's
Was
the
it then
usual
scalped?
outcome of these guys.
Which you can also buy as a pack vehicle in the next update. Looks just like an amalgamation of various weird
It's
vehicles.
really cool. I love it. It's great. It's one of my favorites, this update.
I am
easily.
really interested to see how this thing will actually fly.
Yeah, it's
We'll
nice.
see. Internal rocket pod as well, by the way, which is good for some ground pounding.
It was
Yes,
scuttled
sir,
at
we
Scapa
have the
Flow.
ZSU.
Classic.
ZSU-23 without
Well, like
a
after the
radar,
war,
giving it a
during the
lower
demilitarization
rating, so you can
process.
Yeah,
fly
when the
into
Germans
your
didn't want to give up their stuff,
7.7,
so they
7.3
scuttled
lineup.
everything.
Oh, so
Well,
it's squaddled by themselves,
Yeah,
not even by the
yeah.
allies.
ZSU-24
I
is
see.
sitting after the MiG-27 line. It is a strike aircraft. You can use
Ah,
it
they
as
didn't put it in the
a,
SU-22
for
line?
aircraft with
Sad.
a limited capacity. That's really not what
So
it's
rude.
using.
They could have
It
made it
also
look
gets
so
the
cool.
GPS-guided bombs,
You
as well as
are
some drone
done
fighting
for.
pod, which doesn't have thermal vision.
I think the
but
other
some
one
very
is
good ordnance
starting
options
already.
for all your ground attack needs.
The
I don't
Ishmael
think we showed this one.
7-0.
Yeah, the other one started. The other one started.
That's a
Oh,
very
damn.
flat-looking ship. Where's the sit? Oh, where's the
Do we
sit?
stick on this one
A
or
lot
go
of
to the other
what I
one?
love about it is like the beef
It's
of
up
the
to you.
guns at the
Well, they're
front.
just
Like, there's,
starting
like, a
right now.
wall
If you
of
want.
150
They're still showing like
guns,
new
so you
vehicles.
look at the head
Yeah.
on, like, and the guns at the sides. It's great.
Interesting though. Very low-profile captain's deck, I guess.
Yeah, I think
Bridge.
this was never completed.
Well, it does look half made, to be honest.
It's cool.
All right. Great Britain, the Stormer AD sitting here.
Let's
For
go.
Stormer HVM. This one is a hybrid system
Big
which
ups.
has access to a 25
A beautiful
millimeter
10-0
Gatling gun.
lineup.
I believe it's the same as on the
Now the 10-0
LAV
and
80,
10-3 lineup have
as
AS.
well as
Pretty
access
cool.
to the Stingers. Makes a very good SBA system for the Brits.
It's the fake one,
F111C,
is
this
it?
is the Aussie version.
Only
Gets the
Soviets
same
get
upgrades
fake
as the American
ships.
version
And
on
Italian.
top of a very
And
healthy
Germans.
countermeasure
Oh yeah, and
amount,
Germans. Everybody
which is
who
great
didn't
for
rule the
evading
waves.
radar and IR missiles. Japan, we have the RCV prototype, which is a squadron vehicle. Should fill out your lineup at 9.7 nicely.
And where was the other one?
China,
Oh
we have
wait,
truck
wasn't there another
crew.
They
one?
didn't show it.
Oh.
They didn't show it.
I still love it, I'm sorry.
Yes, hilarious. Just showed the damn tech tree.
10.3, it has
So funny.
missiles.
Ha ha ha.
Gives you a bit of fill out here between.
I think this one is
the
done
displays.
for, man. They're
For
just
the aircraft, we have the J-10A, a new top-tier
Yeah.
jet.
We'll just see where everything
Sits
is.
right here.
It makes it
At the
easier
end of
for
that
me on the
line
dev
with
server.
some very
no.
healthy missile-loaded options. You also have, of course, the Squadron JF-17, which is more geared towards ground striking, but it does still have access to some very healthy air-to-air missiles as well.
I
And
want to know
that's
what
very
its
nice.
radar look like. That's the big thing.
The Alcalid also is a pack vehicle
Yeah, I know, Money.
you can buy in the update. Italy, we have the new Tornado, which sits just before the 1995 version. We do need to end the stream very quickly, so let me just quickly rush with that.
Double time.
France, we have the squadron vehicle, the CV9035 NL, which you can also get, as well as all the entire
Infantry France are
with
France.
the SS11 ATGM. Sweden, we have the premium KV, which sits right here. And for Israel, finally, we have the
Tehran
6, which
and
sits
the
in
F-16.
between these. Insane 8.7 lineup, by the way. This is going to be very menacing. And finally, a new F-16C, which also will get access to the GPS.
What can you
guided
run
bombs.
as CAS for 8.7
Okay,
nowadays?
well, I need to catch my breath now.
The
And we
super
go.
Mr.
Our Russian
Sorry, the
colleagues are going to
Mr.
be starting their
Four.
stream fairly
Right, that is the English stream. So let's go find the Russian stream.